going on, Jungle Crew? Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Sorry that I've been a bit lazy lately. I haven't been lazy, I've just been off on holidays, but I'm coming back. And I really want to double down on fucking heaps and heaps of content. I've got a guest in today. Well, not in because of COVID lockdowns, but I've got a guest on. He's no three-time premiership player. He's no Brownlow medalist. But I'll tell you what, if he didn't pull his hammy when he was 14, he would have played for the Cats, 100%. Welcome, Timo. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, not much.
Thanks for hopping on today. So we're just going to go through a few topics. I spoke to you about the topics already, so yeah, you know what's up, you know what you're in for. We'll start off with the Bucks. So the Bucks won today. The thing, like, throughout the whole series that's really stood out for me was Giannis hyperextending his knee before the first game, missed the first game, comes back, and basically wins the whole series and the championship for the Bucks. You seen the hyperextension? It was pretty fucked, wasn't it? Like it full fucking like went like it was not. If you had seen that in like the AFL, I swear that would have been an ACL. They wouldn't have even gone back on the fucking ground this year. They would have been done for like the whole year. It's pretty amazing that he got back on and he ends up winning the MVP.
He comes back, wins the MVP. That's unreal. I don't like. You got to be such a good athlete just to come back from that as well. Like, I don't understand how you.
I reckon he was injured, like, because that second game, I watched most of that game and he didn't look 100%, and he built every single game since. But I reckon he's definitely injured, man. He's got to be getting like shots or something. Like, there's no way that you can hyperextend your knee that bad, come back and play, especially basketball, like, because basketball is a lot of like jump and landing, and like at the height that he's jumping and the pressure he's putting on his knee, bro. Like, even after extending it a little bit, it'd be fucked. But he's either one tough motherfucker or he's getting in some good fucking something. He's getting something good injected in him. Might have to take the MVP and the cup off him, but we'll move on. That was Giannis MVP. But we'll move on to Tokyo Olympics. So I don't know. I think this might be happening this weekend. I'm not too sure, but I've just got a couple of dot points here, and I want to ask you, and I'll also ask the audience too, like, comment below what you guys are looking forward to the most. Timo, what event are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, skateboarding. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's sick.
And there's like a lot of talent involved in that, and it's now in the Olympics. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I reckon it's fucking awesome, man, because, like, I don't know if you know a guy called Nigel Houston. I follow him on Instagram. He'll be skating for the US, but like, the amount of, like, I watch his shit, the amount of like fucking effort and work and dedication he puts into his skateboarding, and ever since he was like a young kid, and the same goes for a lot of these skateboarders, and surfing as well has come in too, but they would have never expected to be, representing their country in the Olympics, and then it gets brought in, and it's just like a great effort for all their hard work and shit that they've done during their childhood. They probably just did it for the love of it, but now it's like a massive competitive sport. It's gonna be sick. Like, imagine betting on the fucking skateboarding. How sick's that gonna be? Because I'm definitely gonna have a bet on the Olympics. I don't know about you, man, but I reckon it'll make fucking sport so much better. Because the Olympics can get pretty boring, I reckon, like, if you're fucking watching shot put and discus. But imagine like just chucking fucking slapping $100 on like some big butch bitch, like fucking throwing 80-meter discus. It'll make it fucking fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I can't believe it. Like, growing up, mates and stuff, skateboarding, doing a bit of fun and stuff. Now it's like actually like in an Olympic sport, like as an event and stuff. Like,
I don't know I don't know too much about, like, I know, like, obviously it'd be like a street skating event, but I don't know if they have like bowl events and shit too. Like, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it'd be street skating, because I know like a lot of these blokes who are in are street skaters, so I'm pretty sure it is a street skating event.
You said before as well that surfing.
Yeah, surfing's the new event as well. But like, the only thing that I don't know about that, like, is that going to be in Tokyo? Because like, I was thinking today, like, what happens if it's scheduled to be in a certain place, but the waves, aren't picking up, or the swell's not good enough, or just some reason the conditions aren't good enough to be able to surf? Because I know that's what they do in surfing competitions. Like, okay, you'll be a surfer and you'll be told that there's an event coming up, but like, I think it's like 2 days out. They go, okay, this is the date. Get ready, because this is when the swell and all that sort of shit's going to be at the best. So we'll be going here in 2 days. You don't actually get like an exact date, like 4 weeks out. you just get like a rough date because like they wait for the conditions. So like that's just the only thing I don't know, like the conditions with like, is it in Tokyo or if anyone does know, hit down in the comments where the fuck this surfing event's going to be because I'm pretty interested. But
Point. I think point.
I don't like. I actually don't know anything about it. I just know that surfing's a new event. But like it'd be sick if Mick Fanning and like fucking Kelly Slater came in. I think they're retired, but I'm not too sure. But it'd be pretty cool to watch those old blokes who have done it for so long, just like these skateboarders their whole life, and then be able to finally represent their country at the Olympics would be pretty sick. But not too sure. I can't fucking surf for shit anyway, but I just love watching it. It's pretty fun to watch, and heading down to Ocean Grove and falling off the paddle a bit. It's pretty fun. But no, the next topic we've got is American sports culture versus Australian sports culture. So this is something like I was thinking about today after watching the Bucks celebrate their win. Is like the culture in America around NFL, NBA, and even like hockey and shit. Like the culture actually seems so much cooler, and like I don't know, like the streetwear and the fashion and the clothing and the music and everything put into sport like connects really well in America. You just don't really see that too much in Australia. Like when an AFL team wins a premiership, they don't celebrate anything like an American sports team. The only thing I can think of is like NRL did it. The Melbourne Storm did it a little bit. They sort of copied the LA Lakers last season, I remember. And they're a pretty cool team, the Melbourne Storm. Like they have a pretty cool vibe about them, like a lot of their players. But other than that, man, there's not many like cool things about Australian sport. Like I reckon the Australian sport really need to adapt and try to come a little bit more like the culture in American sports, because I reckon you could build it so much more. But just on that, who do you reckon the coolest Australian athlete?
Man, the first thing that comes to mind is Shane Warne. Just as a kid,
Warnie,
like everyone tips in like your hair and stuff. I swear every kid had that at least once in their life. Every male had that at least once in their life, for sure. Me included.
Mate, there's two dangerous things in Australia. Well, there's more than two, but two of the most dangerous things is a Brett Lee 160k fucking ball to the toes, and the other one was Shane Warne's flipper.
Oh, mate, seriously.
But
that's the first person that comes to mind. And like maybe back in the day, like the Leighton Hewitt as well, probably.
Yeah. I don't think Leighton Hewitt was really cool. Like, I mean, like you could look up to him and idolize him because of like his achievements and shit. But I mean, like what he was into and shit wasn't like really cool. But I think like Warnie's such a cool figure because he was like the best cricketer we've ever had. But also he was like this party animal that like just got on the piss and loved to fucking party. And he's still like that. Like he's still exactly the same. He's, but at the same time, like, you don't see many sports stars that, perform so well, but they get on the piss and the parties at the same time. Dane Swan does it pretty well. Like apparently he did it. Like, and there's talks about Dusty Martin and shit. But
hey, would you say as a current person who plays sports, you reckon Dusty Martin?
The coolest current player, you'd have to say
someone in general. Like, you reckon it'd be Dusty? Could be any sport, but like just who's actually currently playing.
Just athlete, Australian athlete. Paddy Mills is pretty cool, and what he's doing at the moment for Australian Olympics is pretty sick. Like he's a flag bearer. He's come from the NBA in America. It's pretty big for Australia. Dusty Martin, bro, he's been like idolized by so many kids now. He's sort of like when we grew up in footy, we thought like, Gary Ablett was the GOAT and we looked up to Gary Ablett, but the kids coming through now are looking up to Dusty Martin. So, he's a pretty cool dude. And I actually reckon he's a really smart person. Like the way he goes about his business. Like he brands up with, he teams up with like a lot of cool brands like Bonds and shit. And, he'd be making so much money. Just his attitude and the way he goes about it's like sort of a cool vibe. But a lot of the Melbourne Storm players are pretty cool too. Like you got the Cheese, Munster. I'm not sure if you know a whole lot about NRL and shit, but I'm not really 100% into it either. But like I follow these blokes on Instagram; they seem pretty cool figures and let off a pretty cool vibe. So but I'm probably going to say Dusty Martin's probably the coolest athlete in Australia, I reckon. What about you? Who's your current coolest athlete at the moment?
I'll probably say Dusty because that's the only person I can think of, honestly, top of my head.
Man, I swear he's like he's probably one of the coolest athletes in the world, to be honest. Like, he's huge. Like, he's just so big in Australia. Like, everyone knows him. People that don't even like Australia, Aussie rules footy know him.
For sure. 100%. He's the most known. He'd be the most known footy player for sure at the moment.
Oh, 100%, man. Probably of all time, to be honest, because I think that, like,
you can't. Yeah.
Our day and age, what we're living in right now, he's probably the most known AFL footy player of all time. So if you think about it, like, a lot of the young kids, like, everyone who follows football knows Dusty Martin. Like, everyone's fucking missus that follows, like everyone's missus whose partner follows football, they hear about Dusty Martin. All these kids coming through school, they know Dusty Martin. Grandmas.
Actually, I want to change mine.
Oh, what is it?
At life.
He's my favourite AFL player of all time.
He would have to be the coolest athlete, 100% Nat Life.
He's like
he's just got swag. He's just got swag.
Yeah, he's fucking sick, man. I love Nat Fyfe, but he's a gun too. We'll move on, though, because we've been touching on that topic for quite a while. We could probably get stiffies over the coolest athletes in Australia. But we'll go, who wins the AFL Premiership? It's pretty fucked up at the moment. Like, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, you'd say Melbourne or Bulldogs, but now they're getting beaten by some sides. Brisbane are getting beaten by some sides. Geelong have come into form a little bit, but, based on history, you don't know with Geelong, because every year they get knocked out in either a prelim or a final. So, like, who do you think will win the AFL Premiership from here?
I say Geelong every year.
Yeah, you go for Geelong though.
Honestly, like, look.
But be honest, 100%. Like, you can say Geelong.
If I'm to be fair, obviously, I'm always going to say Geelong and always say that. Also, like, I reckon I would have thought Brisbane. Yeah. Played against Geelong, and their form during that was insane.
Yeah.
And they you think, like, if I'm saying Geelong, you think, fuck, like, maybe they're a lot better and stuff. Then you look at them last week, and they didn't do too well. So,
yeah,
it's really were in poor form. So, I'd back up the Cats. I'll back them up. But I reckon, to be fair, Geelong and Brisbane, I'd say.
Yeah, they're my two as well. I've been stuck on Brisbane since the start of the season. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to say this because I did a video on, like, my AFL predictions, and I probably didn't even say Brisbane, but I'm pretty sure, like, most of the year I've been saying Brisbane. I thought they were missing one player, and they got him in Joe Danaher. Like, people bag the fuck out of him, but I think he's the only player in the AFL that's kicked a goal every single game this season, which is pretty big. What's that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard it last
week. I mean, he is doing the last few games I've watched him. Like, he's actually doing all right. So
the only thing that hurts them is, like, they picked up Joe Danaher, but now Eric Hipwood's gone for the season, I'm pretty sure, as well. So, you win one, you lose one. Also, I think a couple of their defenders went down too. I'm not too sure who. I think it was Marcus Adams went down. Not too sure how long he's out for, but I think that they're the best side. I think that the Bulldogs' backline worries me a little bit. Like, I think they're a bit undermanned in the backline. I think that, like, people say this and shit, but I think it's true that backlines win premierships. Like, you look at all the best sides.
100%.
Like, look when Geelong were winning premierships. They had the best they had probably the best backline I've ever seen, to be honest. They had an elite backline. They had an elite team, but their backline was the best I've ever seen, I reckon. Or maybe Brisbane Lions back in the day too, actually. But Hawthorn, elite backline when they won the premiership. Of course, they had, like, really good mids and forwards too, but I mean, their backline was the best by far out of every other team.
Had the rate that forward and backline. Their backline was always better.
Yeah,
100%.
I don't think the Bulldogs' backline's good enough to win them a premiership because they're going to have to rely on their midfielders and their forwards.
Yeah, but they're not wrong. They're still playing good footy, so.
Yeah, they're a team that have proved me wrong all year. I didn't think they'd do that well, but Melbourne have a good backline. They have Lever, May, and they have a good couple, like, little small half backliners in, like, Salem and Jaden Hunt. But I don't know. Their forward line, I reckon, their forward line's letting them down a little bit. It'd be good if Ben Brown came in and actually, did something, because every time they've brought him in, he hasn't really done much. But if he was firing and Tom McDonald, then you'd probably say there'd be a real big chance of winning the premiership. But I think it'll be Brisbane or Geelong. That'd be a sick grand final, Brisbane and Geelong, but it probably won't be. It'll probably be, like, someone else. But I think one of them will win it. It just depends if Geelong can get over that, over that hoodoo that they have over their head at the moment, that they haven't won a. Well, actually, before they made the grand final, but before that, they were losing. What was it, like 5 of the last finals or something? So
Yeah.
and people are saying they're old and they're slow, but they're getting the wins. Like, that's all you have to do. You just have to keep winning. Doesn't matter by how much. That's it. But I'm gonna go Brisbane. I think I'm gonna lock that in. Brisbane.
Cats, mate. Always back.
Bro, when I was writing this question now, I was like, this is stupid because you go for the Cats and they're in form. But no, they probably will. But I just think Brisbane.
They're the best team for how many years? Like,
man, that is.
Flag-wise, being as much flags as they should have, but they've just always been up there and they've been consistent with it. So
it's actually amazing, like, how good they've been for so long. If you think about it, like, ever since we were kids, man, like, we're 25 now. I can't remember Geelong never being in the top 8. I think they didn't make it like once or something when, well, I don't know what year it was. They finished like 10th or something. But ever since then, man, they've been in like the top 4 every year since I was a kid, from what I can remember.
Same, like, seriously, it's been amazing. It's been, like, for me as a Geelong supporter, it's been unreal. Like, that's what you want to see, always being in top 4 finals. And you got people like for years. Well, it's good to see Brisbane. Like, for years, Brisbane were at the bottom. But and Melbourne, same thing. So
Melbourne's the big one, man. They haven't won a premiership for like 50-something years, and they haven't been playing final. They played like a prelim a couple of years ago against West Coast, but they were never going to win a premiership. And like, they haven't looked like, Essendon beat them in the grand final in 2000. That was their last chance that they had. But saying that too, like, it sucks being an Essendon supporter. We haven't fucking won a final since 2004, and it was against Melbourne. So I know they're in the 8, but I don't know. They will not compete in the finals at all. But if they make the 8, it'll be sick. Like, just to watch them, because they got a lot of young kids and shit coming through that will do well with the experience and build on it. But yeah, no, I'm going to lock in Brisbane, and you lock in Geelong. So we'll have a look back at this in a few months and see who's right. But we'll finish off with a little segment I want to do. So a guy called Gary V does this, but he does it for like all different sorts of shit. But I thought I'd turn this into like a little AFL version. It's called Overrated and Underrated. So I've just got a few names here. I'm going to... a few of these names here too that you've bagged out heaps. So that's why I put these names, because I know you bag out some of these blokes bad as. But
we already know.
But on this page, on this platform, I like to keep things a little bit positive, because, in the future, I'd love to get some AFL players on and talk to some AFL players. So don't grill them too hard, brother. Just keep it nice and easy. But
yeah.
The first one, bro, Robbie Gray. Bro, for so many years, Timo's been saying that he fucking does not rate Robbie Gray at all. And I rate Robbie Gray as one of the better Port Adelaide players I've ever seen. I'm only 25, so like, they're not even that old anyway, Port Adelaide. But I mean, like, I think he's one of the best Port Adelaide players that I've seen. But Timo just doesn't rate him. But I still want to get your answer.
He's not a bad player. He's a fucking great player, but he's overrated.
He's overrated? All right. I'm not going to judge these. I'm just going to let you answer them. I'm just going to just nod me head, because I know your thoughts anyway.
He is good. Don't get me wrong, but I reckon he's fucking overrated.
Yeah, they do hype him up, but then again, this is off topic a little bit, but do you think that like the AFL in general a little bit biased to Victorian-based players? Like, you don't hear about many interstate players as much as like Victorian clubs? Or do you think it's just because there's more Victorian clubs?
I don't know. I reckon they are a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like they just choose who they want to like and not give like other big name players a crack. Yeah. Like who's the bloke from Gold Coast? He's been killing it all year,
Miller, bro, he's so underrated.
He has been.
He's underrated. He was underrated, but I feel like he's coming into like really, really good form, that everyone has realised he's so underrated that now they're like talking about him so much, because people love underrated players, but now he's sort of turned into properly rated, I think.
He's properly rated. He's where he's right now. He's good. He's
He was next on my list. So underrated, overrated. What do you think? Properly rated?
So Miller,
Yeah.
he's underrated.
Underrated still? Yeah. I agree. I think that
He got suspended this year. I was like, put him for the Brownlow, put $1,000. This guy's got it.
bro, him and Jack Steele are flying under the radar a little bit. I know we can't win it. Took Miller, but I think talking standings, he'll be up there 100%.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to the next one. I've got Cam Guthrie, your boy. I know you love him, so I chucked him in there for you.
Overrated or underrated? Oh, he's not overrated. He's underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he's at that level yet to be overrated. So
he reminds me a lot of Gary Ablett. A lot. And I don't know if that's just because he wears Gary Ablett's old number, but he sort of reminds me his agility. He's got pretty good skills. And his quick burst out of the pack sort of reminds me of. And he's nowhere near as good as Gary Ablett because Gary Ablett's the GOAT, but I just feel like he reminds me a little bit of him. And I think that he's been in such a good midfield for a long time that he's been flying under the radar a little bit. But,
yeah, I agree. He's underrated.
But yep. So Cam Guthrie underrated. You reckon? I agree. Next one is Jack Steele.
Underrated, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think I agree. I think that I think the media pump him up, but I think he deserves it plus more because at the moment I reckon he's carrying St Kilda on his shoulders.
Oh yes, he is.
Football's not a one man fucking team sort of thing. You can't win a game off one person. But people like Jack Steele and Paddy Dangerfield, who else? Jack Steele, Paddy Dangerfield, those sort of players, Dusty Martin, they do make a fucking huge impact. You can't say that they won the fucking game off their own boot, but if you take them out of that side, they probably won't win. Jack Steele, if you take him out of that St Kilda side, they probably wouldn't have won 3 or 4 games that they have this year.
Nah, they wouldn't have.
And I think that he's a smoky for the Brownlow. I might even chuck $5-10 on him this year, I reckon.
Oh yeah, could definitely. I reckon it'd be multiple. I reckon multiple people will win it this year. I reckon it'd be.
Yeah, I could see that too.
One person winning it, just the way that the stats I've looked at and stuff. There's I reckon it's gonna be more than one.
Yeah, because a lot of these players, I reckon, are consistently playing and playing really good football, and they're probably getting 2 or 3 votes.
The footy, they're all getting similar stats, getting a goal here and there.
Yeah,
all in one. It has to be. If it's one win, I'll be very shocked.
Yeah, I like to see multiple winners. That'd be sick.
It's awesome. I want to see it.
And it doesn't take anything away really from, a single winner compared to if there's 3 winners. Everyone celebrates, everyone's a winner. But we'll get stuck in the next one. I got Marcus Bonampelli. What do you think? Underrated or overrated?
The media makes him out to be overrated, but I reckon he's underrated. Underrated, in my opinion. Yeah.
See, I reckon, I know he's one. Okay, people fucking hate me for saying this tonight because I say it a fair bit, and you probably hate me for it too. So let me know if you fucking hate this opinion. But I think, take away the 2016 premiership, I think that he's been overrated his whole career. That sounds weird as fuck because of how good he is right now. But I think that over the last and the same with Christian Petrarca, the media fucking blew him up so much, and
so usually they want to blow up. Oh, that's what I think anyway.
Now I believe that Marcus Bonampelli is a fucking gun of the AFL, one of the best AFL players, great captain, will probably win the Brownlow, but I just think before this year he was a little bit overrated. I think now he's properly rated, but I just think, yeah. So you think he's underrated?
Yeah. I think he's underrated.
He could be. Based on this year, he could be. He's having an amazing year. It's fucked. Some of his stats are crazy as fuck. But we get stuck in the next one. The next one's the next one I want you to think over his career and even still now. Underrated or overrated, Luke Bruce.
Oh, that's a tricky one. I reckon back in the day he was overrated as fuck. There was he got, was it equal record with the most goals kicked without missing, from set shots?
He's fucking accurate. He's accurate.
He got talking, saying he's so good. But then you look at I think it was Tony Lockett who did it, and he did it in 2 games or some shit. And he did this over a course of like 10 games. So it's like, well, I reckon it was overrated. Yeah, I know, but still, I reckon he's overrated. Not now, but definitely when they were back in the day with their premierships, winning flags and stuff, he was overrated for sure.
Yeah, I reckon. I reckon he was properly rated. I think that one of the big reasons why they won the premiership was because of not because of him, but people like him. They put him in the side, and that just adds like a little bit on top of the premiership cup. I think he was properly rated, and now I think that he's underrated. Like I swear people have just forgotten about him, but he's still popping up, kicking goals, and he's still playing pretty fast football as well. Years after he's won the premiership,
he needs to leave. He's got a few more years in him. He shouldn't stay at Hawthorn. He's done everything there. I mean, obviously he probably wants to finish there and stuff, but if he wanted to like end on a high, I reckon he should leave.
Nah, see, I like that. He's won his 3 premierships.
He won 3.
Yeah, I know. I don't like people leaving clubs, but I mean, if he wants to like continue playing good footy, he should go to a better club and be able to perform better. That's just my opinion. So
I don't mind people leaving clubs, but it's got to be for like the right reasons. Like it doesn't have to be. But I mean, it just feels good when someone leaves for family, and even money, man. Like when you think about like how long do people play football for? It could be like literally if you get an injury, it could be 5 years. You've got to make the most of the money that you're getting offered. So I got like when Gary Ablett went to Gold Coast, like he did a lot for Geelong as well. He won 2 premierships there, but people bagged the fuck out of him and said like you're a hungry bastard and shit. But at the same time, like he has a family he's got to look after. Second, he doesn't know how long he's going to be playing AFL for. He's been around Geelong since he was a little kid. So like I think he like they owed it to him, you know, letting him go off and exploring his options and chasing a bit of cash. And he came back, which was sick. Like that was a fucking fairy tale story. It would have been sick if he won the premiership and then retired, but you know.
Well, was he the first $1 million player to get paid yearly for AFL?
I don't know if it was him or Buddy.
I think Buddy was after. I think his Buddy went to Sydney after that. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Someone will let us know in the comments, but I'll ask him who was the first player to make $1 million or be offered $1 million contract per season. You guys know your footy, so you'll let me know.
Ablett.
Yeah, I think so. You'd probably think Ablett because Buddy came in a little bit after Ablett, so you'd probably think Ablett.
Yeah,
bro, they're both worth that money, 100%. Probably fucking way more too.
Absolutely outstanding careers. It's incredible, especially it's a privilege to grow up and watch them.
100%, man. I was saying that yesterday. Like, how fucking lucky, or how good is it that we're still watching Buddy Franklin kick 4 goals? Like, if you look at his draft year, there's so many players that are around his age and had been drafted with him that like are long gone, like 5-6 years gone out of the game and shit. Like good players too, and he's still going. He's almost kicked 1,000 goals. Actually, that's a quick question for you. Do you think he'll kick his 1,000th goal this year? He needs 19 goals. Was it 6 games? 6 games left, 19 goals. And that's not including finals. So if they play a game or 2, that'll help.
It depends. If they want to be like I said, they want to make finals. They want to stay in finals. They can't be hungry about 1,000 goals. So it comes down to it. Do they want to make a spectacular occasion and kick 1,000 goals and give it to Buddy, feed it to him, or just simply focus on footy, make finals, which I reckon is what he would want. I'm pretty sure he would love a flag because he's got another year in him. He'll kick 1,000 eventually.
I think he won't retire until he kicks his 1,000th goal.
I don't think it'll be this year because that's a lot to ask. But
you'd think you'd have to have you'd think that one of these games or 2 of the games remaining, he'd have to kick like a bag of 6 or 7 in like 1 or 2 of them because he's not going to consistently kick 4 or 5 goals.
If anyone can do it, it's Buddy. So I don't.
The only thing that worries me about that is
he'll kick 10. Watch, he'll kick 10, and there'll be 9 goals left. You watch, he'll do something like that. This is incredible.
Nah, you don't see players kick 10 anymore, really. I think Josh Bruce kicked 10 last year or this year, but
do it. Tell him right now. Kick 10. He'll kick 10.
I fucking love it, man. I want to see it, but the only thing that sucks. Imagine if he kicks it this year and there's no crowd. Like no one gets to fucking run on the field, and I don't know if they'd do that anymore, but I think the celebration wouldn't be as good.
They can't dish out all the fines to hundreds of people who are going to run on the field, but there might not be anyone to do that. So that would suck. I hope that guys have the crowd.
Do you know what would be the best celebration ever, bro? If he kicked 1,000 goals, took his boot off, and someone like in the crowd just like heroically chucked him a VB, and he fucking just pulled it in the shoe, did a shoey for his house. Yeah, that's what I want to see. So that's what we need in Australian sports culture. We'll move on because we've been carrying on for a while, and he wasn't even on my fucking underrated, overrated players list. But next we've got Jakey Stringer, and I know you got mixed feelings about Jake Stringer, like most people that don't go for Bombers do.
It's funny because like obviously we work with his cousin, and
shout out to Stringy at work.
I was talking to him on Monday saying, look, I've been saying it for years to shame. He's so bad at footy. I don't rate him. And this year, he's proved me wrong.
Bro,
I back up what I always say. I reckon he's so fucking overrated, but he's proven me wrong this year. He has played fucking good footy. I love to see him in the midfield a lot more too. I reckon that really suits him.
Well, he's playing...
Why? He's been playing well, so...
I went to the game on the weekend, and I think he spent more time forward. He kicked 4 goals, but I think he's been spending like 60% of the time in the midfield, 40% forward. So I think on the weekend he spent a lot more time forward. I reckon he played like 80% of the game up forward. I don't know if it was like the weather because it's pretty fucking hot, but I don't know. Worked, kicked 4 goals, and had like 16 disposals. Cost me my multi though, but I love him. He's exciting to watch, but we'll move on. Jamie Cripps, underrated or overrated from West Coast?
I reckon underrated.
Yeah, I reckon too. 100%, man.
No way. No, underrated.
Did you see his stats on the weekend?
Yeah, it was good.
It was like 5 goals and 25 disposals.
That's a great game. That's a fantastic.
That's like the equivalent to a triple-double in basketball.
Oh, for sure. Like, if you're getting 20-plus touches and at least 2 goals.
As a forward man too. Like, I don't know. I actually didn't watch the game. I don't know if he went through the mid. He doesn't normally go through the midfield, so I doubt it. But he plays that small forward role. He does push up the ground a little bit sometimes, but to have 25 disposals, and you'd think that most of them would be up the ground, but then to push back to kick 5 goals is fucking huge. He's been doing it for a while too. Not those crazy stats all the time, but I mean, like, he's been like Josh Kennedy's little sidekick for so long. Him and Mark Lacroix were like, such good sidekicks to fucking Jack Darling and Josh Kennedy. But yeah, no, I agree. I think he's underrated as fuck. He's not consistent. He's not consistent enough, but I mean, throughout his whole career, he's underrated for sure.
Not overrated.
Last one, we've got Josh Kelly. Overrated or underrated?
I reckon under.
See, I put him in because I think that I don't know. It's fucking. I thought it was really weird that like there was so much talk about him, like when he was out of contract and like North Melbourne offered him so much money. But now like the talk about him just died, man. You never hear about Josh Kelly anymore. He's playing a little bit inconsistent, but his good games are really fucking good, like really fucking good. And no one's talking about him. So I agree. I reckon he's underrated.
Underrated. Yeah, he is underrated.
But we'll finish off with one last question for you, bro. Who is the most underrated player in the AFL? Actually, two questions. Who's the most underrated and who's the most overrated?
You really know who underrated is? Mitch Duncan.
Yeah, 100%, bro. He is underrated as fuck.
Greatest footballers ever play the fucking game and has not get recognised for it.
Yeah.
I reckon he's good. I agree. I reckon he's just as good as fucking... I don't know. I feel like Paddy Dangerfield's a match winner. But, I mean, I feel like Mitch Duncan's just as good as these players like Josh Kelly and that. He's better. Like, I reckon he's better than half the players. I rate him over Dangerfield and stuff. He's so good. He doesn't get recognised for it. He's just amazing.
It's surprising that he hasn't gone to another club. Like, if he went to another club, man, he'd probably be their best midfielder.
Oh, fucking oath he would be. He fucking would be.
But
I just love the bloke. He's just a top bloke.
Yeah, you just love him because he wears the fucking blue and white hoops, bro. That's all you love him for. But
he's
Last question of the night. Last little conversation of the night. Who is the most overrated player in the AFL?
I don't know. I mean, I could say multiple, so like Robbie Gray and Jake Stringer.
Good. Pick one. Just pick one. No hard feelings, bro. No hard feelings.
Hard feelings. I want a good one. Most overrated player.
I reckon it's fucking hard. I reckon picking an overrated player over an underrated player is hard.
Well, I'll name one, right? You probably never would have thought.
What's that, sorry?
Trent Cotchin.
Trent
From Richmond. 100%.
No, I don't reckon people rate him like as a player. I reckon people rate him as a captain.
Richmond supporters, they do.
No, they do, but I think a lot of people rate Trent Cotchin on his captaincy, not his.
Yeah, but as well, he's a Brownlow medalist. The people think.
No, he's not. Nah, Joe Boston's a Brownlow medalist, mate.
Not on paper anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
no, that's actually fucking crazy. Like he won that in 2012, and it's 2021, bro. Like if you have to think about it, that's 9 years ago. He won. He won a Brownlow.
Yeah, I know.
Like Sam Mitchell was in the best form, but like Trent Cotchin would have been pretty young then.
Well, fucking hell. Well, yeah, 9 years ago for sure. If he's in his
he'd be like
21.
He'd be like 32 or something. 33 maybe.
39 years. That's 21 years of age. You won a Brownlow medal. That's fucking really good.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is, but yeah, he still would have been young. But no, we'll finish it up there. So you think Trent Cotchin's the most overrated player in the AFL? I don't agree with that one, but we'll let the audience, let us know about it. So hopefully you enjoyed this fucking little chat today, man. When COVID's over, you'll be able to come in and we can actually sit down together and pull each other and talk about footy at the same time. But hopefully the audience enjoyed you. I enjoyed your company, but I'm sure they'll let us know. They'll get stuck in you if they didn't like you, or they'll send little love hearts if they did. So let me know if you like Timo. I don't like him; he's a shit cunt, but you guys might like him. So if you like him, I'll keep him on. We'll give him another week. We'll give him a 1 week contract. Let me know. What's that?
The pressure's on.
The pressure's on. Nah, you were sick, man. Thank you so much for hopping on. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and this is what I love doing, talking shit and talking sports. So perfect combination with a great mate. So thanks for that, man. Hopefully we get another episode in soon. Catch you later, brother. Cheers.
Gotcha.
Ocean Park. See the way you're showing now, girl, I can't tame you.